Have you ever felt trapped in an endless loop of emotional attachment, unable to break free no matter how hard you try? Do you find yourself constantly revisiting memories, thoughts, or feelings about someone or something, even when you know it's time to move on? We've all experienced this at some point, the deep emotional bonds that, instead of uplifting us, start weighing us down. They can make us feel stuck, powerless, and even disconnected from our own sense of peace. But the good news is that you are not a prisoner of your emotions. Change is not only possible, it is within your grasp. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, we will uncover powerful principles to help you break free from emotional chains and regain control over your inner world. Stoicism is more than just a philosophy. It's a practical guide to navigating life's challenges with resilience, clarity, and strength. In this video, we will explore the core Stoic mindset that allows you to detach from emotional suffering without losing your sense of self, practical strategies for letting go without feeling regret or emptiness, how to train your mind to focus on what you can control rather than being consumed by what you cannot, the transformative power of turning emotional pain into personal growth and inner peace. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or becoming indifferent. It is an art, one that teaches you true freedom does not come from holding on, but from learning how to navigate your emotions with wisdom and strength. If you're ready to embrace personal growth, break free from emotional attachments, and discover a new sense of clarity and purpose, then this video is for you. Join us on this journey to mastering the art of letting go and reclaiming your emotional freedom. 1. The power of letting go. Why is letting go so important? Think about this. When we cling too tightly to people, situations, or outcomes, we allow them to dictate our emotions. It's as if we've handed someone else the remote control to our happiness, giving them the power to raise or lower our emotional state at their whim. This attachment creates suffering, anxiety, and an illusion of control that we never truly had in the first place. But here's the truth. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become cold, indifferent, or detached from life. Instead, it means you learn to place things in their proper perspective, recognizing that some attachments do more harm than good. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the direction of the wind, we can decide whether to hold on to or release the kite string of our emotions. The need to let go often stems from our natural desire for certainty and control. We fear losing what is familiar, even if it no longer serves us. We become attached to people, not always because they bring us joy, but because we are afraid of loneliness. We hold on to past mistakes, not because they define us, but because we struggle to forgive ourselves. Understanding these emotional patterns is the first step toward breaking free. So how do we practice the art of letting go? Identify what you're holding on to. Begin by reflecting on what or who is occupying your mind and heart excessively. Is it a past relationship that still lingers in your thoughts? A missed opportunity that haunts you? A need for validation from others? Recognizing the source of your attachment is crucial because awareness is the first step toward transformation. Question your attachment. Ask yourself, why am I holding on to this? Is it because I seek approval? Do I fear uncertainty? Am I afraid of being alone? Often, our attachments are fueled by deep-seated fears rather than genuine love or necessity. When we confront these fears, we begin to loosen their grip on us. Accept what you cannot control. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. You cannot control how someone feels about you, nor can you rewrite the past. But you can control how you respond, how you perceive situations, and how much mental energy you invest in things beyond your influence. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about reclaiming your power. Redirect your energy. Letting go is not just about releasing something, it's also about refocusing. Shift your attention to activities, relationships, and passions that bring you fulfillment. Engage in experiences that nurture your well-being, whether it's learning a new skill, spending time with loved ones, or practicing mindfulness. When your mind is occupied with growth, there is little room for emotional burdens. Practice detachment with love. Detachment does not mean emotional numbness. It means loving deeply while accepting that nothing is truly permanent. It means appreciating moments without fearing their end. It means allowing people to come and go in your life without forcing them to stay. When you adopt this mindset, you experience relationships and life itself with greater freedom, depth, and peace. At its core, letting go is an act of self-liberation. It is choosing not to let external circumstances dictate your inner peace. It is embracing change, understanding impermanence, and trusting that even in loss, there is growth. So ask yourself today, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? And more importantly, who could I become if I finally let it go? 2. Understanding attachment, the illusion of the ego. When you cling to something, it's not because you genuinely need it, but because your ego is convincing you that you can't live without it. We are born with a nature of pure love, freedom, and no attachments. However, as we grow, the ego takes over, making us start defining our worth based on external things: success, money, relationships, or the recognition of others. Over time, we stop seeing things in their simplest form, becoming tangled in the cycle of control and fear. Attachment creates the illusion that if we lose something, we won't be whole. The truth is, it is the attachment itself that robs us of peace. When you depend on someone or something to feel happiness, you unintentionally give away the control of your emotions to others or external circumstances. This makes you vulnerable, anxious, and fearful of change. Now, imagine a life guided by love rather than ego. When you are no longer bound by the fear of loss, you begin to trust in the sufficiency of life itself. You no longer worry about losing a person, an opportunity, or anything else, because you understand that your worth is not tied to anything external. When you let go of control, the universe often returns to you more than what you have let go of. Letting go does not mean indifference or detachment. It is a deeper understanding of the nature of all things. It's when you can still love without possessing, still appreciate without depending, and still enjoy without fearing loss. That's when you truly experience freedom. 3. The illusion of the ego. The ego has a way of making us believe that we are not enough, or that others are somehow living a better, more fulfilled life than we are. This belief keeps us constantly reaching out for validation, searching for approval from people around us. We look to others for reassurance that we matter, that we are worthy. However, the truth we often fail to see is that no one holds a special ticket to happiness. Everyone is equally vulnerable, equally flawed. Consider this. How often do we compare ourselves to others, believing their success or happiness means we are somehow lacking? The ego thrives on these comparisons, feeding the illusion that our worth is tied to what we have or how others perceive us. Yet, when we face the reality of our own existence, we see that true confidence does not come from comparing ourselves to others, but from understanding that our value is inherent. It's something that doesn't need external validation. In relationships, this illusion is particularly strong. We often fear losing someone special, whether it's a partner, a friend, or a loved one, because we believe that without them, we will not be complete. But this is another construct of the ego, the false belief that our happiness and completeness are tied to someone else's presence. The truth is, we are already whole, regardless of anyone else. Our worth is not contingent on others staying by our side. When we realize this, we can begin to love more freely and openly, without the suffocating need to possess or control. The key is to accept that you are enough just as you are. By embracing your own inherent worth, you free yourself from the illusion of the ego. You no longer seek approval from the outside because you recognize that your happiness comes from within. This shift in perspective allows you to love more deeply and authentically, without attachment or fear of loss. When you no longer need to compare or cling to others, you are free to experience true connection and peace. Ultimately, the ego's power lies in its ability to deceive us into thinking that happiness depends on something external. But once we see through this illusion, we begin to understand that true fulfillment comes from accepting ourselves fully just as we are. And when we can do that, we are free to embrace the world and those we love without the need to possess or control. 4. The practice of letting go. To truly let go, you must be willing to release the past, the relationships, the memories, the attachments that no longer serve you. Holding on to something for too long only causes pain, but letting go doesn't mean you will fall. In fact, it may be the very thing that allows you to reach for something better, something more aligned with the present you. The fear of missing out, FOMO, is a trap many fall into. You scroll through social media and see glimpses of others' lives, and it seems like they have it all together, traveling, succeeding, or enjoying relationships you wish you had. But this is just a curated version of reality, a snapshot of a life that's been carefully chosen and edited for public consumption. When you focus on what's happening in your own life, instead of constantly comparing it to others, the weight of that fear fades away. You start to see that your journey is unique, and what others are doing has little to do with your own happiness. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on happiness. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Letting go allows you to redefine happiness on your own terms, without relying on external factors or the approval of others. It's about realizing that happiness doesn't reside in possessions, achievements, or the validation of those around you. It resides within you. By choosing to let go, you create space for a deeper sense of contentment and fulfillment that comes from knowing you are enough, as you are, in this moment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our growth. You cannot control other people's behavior, nor can you control the past or future. But you can control how you respond, how you grow, and how you engage with the world. No one, no relationship, and no material possession has the power to define your value or your happiness, except for you. When you embrace this mindset, you begin to let go of the need for external validation, and you empower yourself to create a life rooted in internal peace and fulfillment. Letting go is not about losing something, it's about gaining clarity. It's about shedding the weight of expectations and attachments, and embracing the freedom to be fully present in your life. When you stop clinging to what no longer serves you, you allow yourself the chance to grow into who you're meant to be. Letting go is a powerful practice, one that invites you to step into your own power and live a life of authenticity and joy. 5. The path to happiness. Where does true value come from? Understanding this answer can help us let go of unnecessary attachments and unlock emotional freedom. Happiness doesn't reside in the presence of someone else, but rather in how we develop our character, our wisdom, and the way we treat others. It comes from within, not from external circumstances or other people's approval. Imagine you are a bird, yet you believe you need someone else's permission to fly. The reality is that the sky is always wide open, waiting for you to spread your wings and soar in your own unique way. You've always had the power within you, but sometimes we forget it. We wait for external validation or approval, only to realize that happiness and fulfillment are already ours to claim if we choose to embrace them. Letting go doesn't mean pushing people away. Rather, it means drawing closer to your true self. It's about shedding the layers of doubt and fear that keep you from realizing your full potential. When you focus on your personal growth, you become like a garden in full bloom, a source of happiness and peace that nourishes your soul, regardless of whether anyone else is there to admire it. The beauty is in your growth, not in others' recognition of it. You are not a puzzle waiting for someone else to complete you. You are a masterpiece in the making, constantly evolving, always becoming more of who you truly are. The process of letting go allows you to step into that transformation freely. It allows you to stop seeking external sources of happiness and start creating it from within. When you become more deeply connected to yourself, the need to rely on others for validation fades away. You realize that the fulfillment and happiness you seek have always been within you, waiting to be unlocked. In this journey, the path to happiness lies not in holding on to what is no longer serving you, but in releasing it, allowing yourself the freedom to grow and transform. By focusing on your inner development, you cultivate a sense of contentment that does not depend on external circumstances. You become the creator of your own happiness, embracing the beauty of your own existence without needing anyone else to complete you. Letting go is not a loss, it's a gateway to discovering the fullness of who you are. It's the path to becoming your most authentic, powerful, and joyful self. And in this process, you will find that happiness is not something you pursue, but something you already are. In the end, the journey to emotional freedom and happiness begins with letting go. Letting go is not about abandoning people or things, but about releasing the attachments that limit us. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from within, from the growth of our character, wisdom, and the way we interact with others. When we stop seeking validation from outside sources and begin cultivating our own inner peace, we free ourselves to live authentically and joyfully. Remember, happiness is not found in the approval of others or external circumstances. It's found in your own ability to embrace who you are, to trust in your worth, and to love freely without attachments. The path to a peaceful and fulfilling life lies in knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.